Want to talk about addiction. One of my favorite books of all time is Gary Zukov's The Seat of the Soul. And in there, he has a whole chapter on addiction and makes some amazing points. Gary Zukov speaks about addiction as being frightened personality parts. And this is so true. Being familiar with addiction and having, in Gary Zukov's book, The Seat of the Soul, he talks about addiction. There's an entire chapter on addiction. And addiction is a struggle with power. It's frightened personality parts, and you're giving your power away because you don't want to heal those frightened parts. He sees it as a not as a simple bad habit, but really the expression of the most frightened and controlling parts of your personality. You're seeking external solutions for an internal pain. Manifestation and powerlessness of the pain causes addiction. It's a coping mechanism for deep seated feelings of powerlessness and unresolved emotional pain, where individuals try to find external fixes for their internal wounds. This is a spiritual opportunity for growth. Despite addiction's destructive nature, in his book, The Seat of the Soul, Gary Zukov views confronting and healing addiction as a profound spiritual journey, offering a chance for greater self awareness and freedom from the external control and the power that you give to your addiction. It's the path to authentic power by engaging with the pain that's underlying the addiction and consciously choosing to heal. Individuals can cultivate authentic power, which is grounded in love, compassion, and alignment with your true authentic self, rather than this external reliance on alcohol, sex, drugs, shopping. There's food, there's just many different types of addiction. It's a shift from fear to love. There's only two emotions, fear and love. That's it. Fear is external, love is internal. And the core of overcoming addiction, in Gary Zukov's view, involves a conscious shift from a fear based existence to one rooted in love and compassion, breaking the cycle of pain and dependence. Addiction's the voice of those frightened parts. Zukov offers a profound different lens through which he views addiction. He moves beyond the conventional understanding of it as a behavioral problem or a weakness. Instead, he postulates that addiction is the loudest voice of the most frightened parts of your personality, the loudest voice of the most frightened parts of our personality. Imagine the parts of yourselves that feel insecure, unloved, and inadequate. When these parts are dominant, they seek external means to soothe your internal discomfort. And addiction, whether it's to substances, behaviors, or thoughts, becomes a way for the frightened parts to exert control, trying to create a false sense of safety or power in the world that they perceive as threatening. It's a compensatory mechanism, an attempt to fill an internal void with something external. Let's look at the roots in powerlessness and pain. What Zukov identifies as the genesis of addiction in unresolved pain and a deep sense of powerlessness. When you experience past traumas, emotional neglect, or feel overwhelmed by life's challenges, they often develop a feeling that they lack control over their internal world or their circumstances. Addiction in this context becomes a desperate attempt to regain some semblance of control, or at least to numb the pain not having it. It's a pursuit of external fixes for internal wounds that have been left to fester and they're unaddressed. The substance or behavior provides a temporary escape, a fleeting moment of relief that masks the underlying emotional anguish and the pain and the feeling of being at the mercy of those circumstances or that weak perceived weakness. Zukav reframes it as a profound spiritual opportunity. While acknowledging the immense pain and suffering associated with addiction, it's a powerful catalyst for growth if you choose to own your power. The very struggle with addiction forces individuals to confront their deepest fears, their unresolved pain, and their limiting beliefs. It presents a stark choice: continue down the path of external dependence with your addiction, or embark on a journey of internal healing and self discovery. This confrontation, even though it's arduous, can lead to a deeper understanding of oneself and a move beyond the illusion of control that addictions offer, taking you to genuine freedom, the freedom of not being controlled by the addiction. The goal isn't just sobriety, but it's the cultivation of authentic power. This isn't about power over others or external achievements. It's the power that originates from within us. It's rooted in love, compassion, and a genuine alignment with your soul and its purpose. When you acknowledge the pain beneath your addiction and you take responsibility for your choices and consciously choose to heal, you'll begin to tap into this authentic power because that's what's on the other side of the pain. It's a shift from being controlled by the external forces, the addictions, to becoming the conscious creator of your own experience. The emphasis that overcoming addiction necessitates a fundamental shift from fear to love. The cycle of addiction is fueled by fear of pain, fear of inadequacy, fear of life itself. Let me cover it all up. Let me numb myself out. I can't deal with this. The external fix is a desperate attempt to alleviate this fear by consciously choosing love for oneself, compassion for one's vulnerabilities, and a willingness to embrace authentic connection. Individuals can break this cycle. This means cultivating self awareness, practicing emotional honesty, and making choices that are aligned with their spiritual evolution. It's about recognizing that true power and lasting peace comes not from an external substance or behavior, but from your inner reservoir of love and conscious choice. This is why in Alcoholics Anonymous, they have the 12 steps. And in the 12 steps, they state very clearly that you will have a spiritual experience. Now, I have to share with you that this is what started my journey into these teachings. I got into Alcoholics Anonymous over 36 years ago, and it's led me on profound spiritual experiences and brought me to a place where I'm teaching all aspects of how to live a life that's authentic, joyful, powerful, purposeful. It's amazing, but we have to stop and go through and look at the pain we've been trying to cover up. I'm Bill Heinrich with True Life Purpose Now. If you have questions on this or want more information, please go to speaktobill.com. You can get on my calendar and we'll have a conversation.